Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my GoPro. And welcome back to my car. I'm finally driving my car again, long distances, so perhaps you'll see more of me because not a whole lot else to do in the car other than talk to myself, right? Now I'm talking to you fine folks. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. I got it mounted up there as best I could. Hopefully it don't make you sick. If it makes you sick, just look away and listen. There's usually nothing to see on screen anyways. It's just my mug just talking, so. I just watched a great video. I'm gonna see if I can remember the name of it here real quick. Super safe while I'm driving, right? It's about the labor shortage. So it's the labor shortage crisis and how this will soon impact you. And that's by City Prepping. City Prepping has like over 600,000 subscribers, so I mean, you're not hearing anything new by hearing that from me. And a few of their other videos, I've only watched a handful of them. I try not to watch a lot of fear-mongering stuff usually. But that channel does an amazing job. Some of it's fear-mongering, a little bit, but a lot of it's just reality. I mean, it's really what it is. It's reality. It's things that could or might or are happening to us. Man, I'm really sorry I cannot get this thing to stop shaking. Sorry about that. I'll just take you out of here. It's not working great right now, so there we go. But yeah, so their channel's mostly about, you know, prepping, obviously, and being prepared. But it's not just for the end of the world. I mean, they have some videos on that, and some good ones. I watched What Happens When Shit Hits the Fan. Good video, actually. Very calm and well presented, and not just like a psychobabbling rant. You know, it's very well presented. But what I want to talk about is this, you know, labor crisis video that they put out. That was just about 3 days ago. And I put out a video a while back talking about it, about, you know, how I see now hiring signs in every window, and, you know, a lot of businesses are looking for employees and they can't find them. And this channel proposed a really good point, that it's obviously not that there's a shortage of laborers, because there's still plenty of people. But people are, after the pandemic, people are very quickly realizing that they don't want to go back to their $10 an hour job that, you know, paid shit and no benefits and shitty hours and shitty working conditions, and I don't blame them. Absolutely. I wouldn't want to either. And I'm definitely one to say, you know, that our country doesn't work on, you know, YouTubers and bloggers, and I still stand behind that. However, I hope more employers, millionaires and billionaires, and company owners in general, hopefully this will be the push that we need to step up the earnings in this country. There's no reason that a CEO of a company should make $40 million a year and the next highest paid employee maybe makes $1 million, and then the next lowest behind that guy maybe makes, or the next highest, excuse me, makes like $250,000, and so on down the line until you get all the way down to the people who still only make, you know, $30,000, $35,000 a year. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that large of a gap to exist at all, other than greed. It's the only reason it exists. So hopefully this will be the wake up to those billionaires, that you don't make your billions by treating your people on the bottom like shit and not paying them what they're worth. Hopefully seeing huge declines in growth and earnings and everything for the company overall, which means a huge hit most likely to the people at the top. Hopefully that'll be the incentive we need to have the wages more closely match the inflation rate we've been seeing since about 70s or so. I mean, in their video, they make a great point that, you know, the average, like, some low-paid employees at, like, fast food restaurants make, like, you know, $25,000 a year or so. And, or less, you know, maybe down to, like, $18,000. That was the example they used, about $18,000. So adding up all their wages, you know, making about $18,000. Oh, great, there's a cop here. Let's see if I can not get caught filming myself. With that being said, you know, they paying their rent and stuff like that, it added up to, the average, he said, was about almost $1,100 a month, which I was blown away by how expensive that is for the average rent. But I live in a small area where rent, even now, rent is high, but nowhere near that high. But so at the end of the year, you know, after that, after monthly utility fees and all that stuff, they were left with like $250 a year. And that wasn't including food, or that wasn't including, you know, doing anything for yourself, or taxes, or your Social Security. None of that. That's insane. This is supposed to be the greatest fucking country in the world. That's unexcusable. That is unexcusable. That's great that we have some of the richest people in the world in our country. That's fantastic. But we as a society could easily be the richest country overall for every individual person. There's no reason that we can't be. There's no reason to not have true trickle-down economics in the way it's supposed to work. Where the people at the top make a lot of money, yes. They should. If they started a business and it got successful and they did all the right things to get successful, absolutely. They should reap the benefits of that. But goddamn, can't you help all the people behind you then that help you make that much money? I mean, come on. Obviously, this is just coming from me, a dumb, you know, low-wage, low-class worker. But what the fuck? It shouldn't take a lot of common sense to realize that if you make even $1 billion a year, what the fuck you need $1 billion a year for? Like, if you as a CEO or whatever, you take home, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars, you take it home, you put it in your bank account, whatever it is. What the fuck you need that much money for? What do you need that much for? Especially when your lowest paid workers at your company are struggling to make basic payments. Wouldn't it feel better if you still took home a fuckload more money than you need, but you also made sure that everyone helping you through that, from the bottom ranks up, also made an acceptably livable wage, an exceptional wage? I'll use Walmart as an example. I pick on Walmart all the time. The wealth, though, that the Waltons have accumulated from the empire they created. I mean, they created it. Created an empire. Probably a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of blood along the way. Some of the richest people in the world, the Waltons are, at least on paper. I don't see a feasible reason why the lowest paid Walmart employee couldn't be paid upwards of $30 an hour. And they, at the top, would still take home obscene amounts of money. It wouldn't, like, stress their pocketbook at all for their lowest paid employee. I'm talking, I don't even give a shit if it's just the kid who goes out and gets carts out of the parking lot and brings them inside. Pay that motherfucker $20 an hour to do that. For 4 hours a day, you pay him that much money. And you know what? You won't struggle to find workers, I guarantee it. This doesn't even get into the problem we have of the insurance and stuff like that. And I'll probably talk again here shortly about the issues that stem from, you know, the way our retirement system works and a lot of problems that come with that I learned by reading The Chaos Protocols by Gordon White, which I've talked about at length before. I just don't understand why in this day and age, I mean, it's just greed. That's all it really comes down to, is greed. And if someone wants to tell me I'm stupid, you know, because, oh, well, just because they're worth $91 billion doesn't mean they have that much money. Yeah, I understand that. I'm not fucking that stupid. I'm pretty stupid, but I'm not that stupid. But anyone who is worth $91 billion probably has a lot of liquid money sitting around. And they also probably have a lot of really stupid shit. You know, probably own 10, 20, 30, 40 fucking cars, whatever. Stuff they're not using every day. Shit you don't need. Like I said, we could all live a perfectly comfortable, exceedingly comfortable life in this country. You know, people make fun of Dubai, you know, because there's so much money being thrown around all the time. America could almost be that, but right down to the personal home level of everybody. I don't obviously want to see things like Dubai where there's so much money at the top, and yet then it's like slave labor helping take care of the city. I don't want to see that kind of stupid shit here. Of course, that's dumb. But there's so much money in America being made on a daily basis that there's no reason the people at the bottom who ultimately are helping make the money, who keep the products moving, who stock them on the shelves, all of those people are important in the very fragile system we have built. So why don't we fucking pay them what they're worth? They're worth every single penny you give them, because at the end of the day, they're the ones helping make